So I'm not going to use the mat today, but I do recommend that you grab the block, just because there will be some opening that might potentially require it. So considering that you have already worked out, why don't we go ahead and start in a tabletop position and just go for a gentle cat and cow. Go ahead and roll your shoulders up, back and down in this position. And in fact, if you feel like closing your eyes to start with, I want you to just kind of absorb and relax through your spine and understand where you are right now, this moment. And start to gently opening up your chest as you're drawing your tailbone up, dropping down your belly. And for the first couple of times, I want you to just go with the flow. Do not force anything. Keep your elbows soft, shoulders very gently pulled back. And it's almost like the weight of your belly is what's dragging your lower back down and into that arched position. Keep your toes pointed and the top of your feet are flat and your hands are, your fingers are spread and you have plenty of base for this. Good, and now very, very gently, let's just start by tucking your tailbone under. Continue breathing through this. Very, very little effort, more like a movement, just bringing that tailbone under, and as one vertebra at a time starts to go into this lengthening position, just drop your head. Don't tuck your chin, just drop it. Good, and once again, observe your spine, see where it is, which part of your spine is tighter, is it closer to your lower back? Is it closer to your neck? What is happening there? Good. Now we're going to go a little bit more actively. So go ahead by rolling your shoulders towards your ears, back and away, pulling your shoulder blades together. This time, I really want you to very actively bring your tailbone up, soften your elbows, and start to press your chest forward. As you do that, you should start feeling that your back muscles are getting that much more engaged. The more you're pulling your shoulders back, the shorter the distance between your shoulder blades and your hips. Lift your chin, but be very gentle now with your neck. Good, and now we're gonna reverse that. Once again, start by tucking your tailbone under, bringing it in. This time, I want you to squeeze your belly button into your spine, and that is what starts to press your lower back up into this very round position. Press your palms very firmly into the mat. Lock your elbows, and this time, tuck your chin. Nice. Once again, start to relaxing through your lower back. Roll your shoulders towards your ears, up and back. And soften your elbows again. Fingers are very widespread. This time, when you bring your tailbone up, I really want you to imagine that you're trying to touch your tailbone to the top of your head. Shoulders back. Your back is as arched as it can ever be. And with your exhale, start by tucking your tailbone under. By now, this is very familiar. And now I want you to feel or rather imagine that your tailbone is trying to touch your nose under your belly button. So there's a lot of actual activity here. Arms are still locked in the elbows. One more breath here. Good, and now just relax. Drop your hips down onto your heels. Relax into your child's pose. Relax your arms. Maybe lift your hands on your fingertips and curl your fingertips just a tiny bit more. Lift through your chest for just a split second and then drop your upper body again, feeling that the distance between your fingertips and your hips all the way through both sides of your body is lengthening. Shift your hips gently side to side. Your forehead is dropped. Good, wonderful. And lift through your chin. Roll your shoulders back, lift up, and drag your right foot forward between your hands. Good, wonderful. All right, so at this point in time, if you need to use the block, this is probably a good time to do that, because I would really like for you not to lean into that right shoulder into your thigh, but rather really lift it up and play a little bit. So this distance should allow you to work your hips. Draw circles. We're going to go clockwise 3 times. So you're drawing circles with your hips. No one is watching. Play with it. See how far you are able to lean side to side. And now in the opposite direction, counterclockwise, out, and 2, and 3. Very nice. Now slide your right foot a little bit back, but please make sure that your heel remains on the floor. Unless this bothers your knee, then you can bring your right foot back forward and align the knee with your toes. But if it doesn't, I want you to try and add to it a little bit of a stretch in your ankle and possibly even in your calf. Good. Once again, reaching side to side, opening things up. Place both of your hands gently onto that right thigh. Pull your shoulders back. This is our dragon. Reach your arms up. Breathe. If you can, arch your back behind you. If available, lift your chin up. And from here, reach your arms behind you, clasp your hands. Help us pull our shoulder blades together and open up our chest. Do not drop your hands on your left thigh if you can. Lift them. One more breath. Good. Release your hands forward again. Heel toe or slide your right foot a little bit more forward again. And now we're going to straighten the right leg and shift our hips back. So start with your upper body lifted if you are really flexible and if you can go all the way down. And what I need you to concentrate on is keeping your back straight, possibly even a little bit arched, and hips very square so that the distance between your right foot and your right and left hip is almost the same. Inhale, and with an exhale, start to drop the chest down towards your knee. We are going nice and slow here, starting with just opening things up. And then shortly after, we're going to create a nice, beautiful flow. So for now, let's just listen how our body feels, settling into a really nice and happy form. Beautiful. Take another inhale, and with an exhale, press into your hands, lift all the way up. Check one more time that your hips exactly where they should be. Your hamstrings are opening up, and shift your body forward. And we're back in our low lunge. Reach your arms all the way up. Draw your shoulders back. Back is beautifully arched. Strong position. Once again, bring your arms behind you. Take a quick note as to which thumb is on top. Do not drop your hands on your left side. Everything is active. Inhale. With an exhale, go ahead and press into that right foot and go for a forward fold. Draw your arms as forward and over your head as you can. Drop your head. Inhale, start by lifting your chin up. Everything is really engaged. And exhale, shift your hips forward. Inhale. Exhale, press into your right foot, forward fold again. Draw your arms over your head and all the way. Touch your right toes. Just kidding. Inhale, open up again. And exhale, forward. One more time. Inhale, open up. And exhale, press into that right foot and draw all the way. Drop your head. Maybe you can even touch the top of your head to the floor in front of your right calf. Inhale, open up. Exhale, forward. Reach your arms up one more time. And bring your hands back down on the floor. Wonderful. Slide that right leg all the way back. Shift your hips side to side. Gently opening things up. Repositioning, resetting. Very nice. Lift that left foot and slide it forward. It is between your hands. And once again, starting by just opening and comparing the two sides. Drawing circles with our hips. Ready? 3 times clockwise. Exaggerate that movement. Don't be shy. Listen to your body. And 3 times in the opposite direction. Left, forward, right, rolling, opening, drawing shoulders back as always. Remember this one, if this one feels good, so you can always do that on your own. Good. Come back forward, lifting up again. Maybe you're on your fingertips, maybe you're using a block to do that. That's great. And now go ahead and slide or heel toe your left foot slightly back. Remember that the entire foot still should be on the mat. Should feel the stretch both in the ankle and in the calf. And again, make sure that your knee is comfortable here. Start to lift up. Maybe start by placing left and right hand on your left thigh, and then reach your arms up. Now draw them behind your ears and lift up. Your chin is up, your chest is up. Your back is working really hard. Now bring your arms behind you. Clasp your hands just to remind your chest where it should be. Bring your hips as far forward as you can. Good. Go ahead and release that. Hands come back down on the floor. And slide or heel toe your left foot back to where we started. And shift your hips back. Good. So once again, please figure out where those hips are. Roll your shoulders back. Definitely have your back as straight as possible. Do use your tools. If you can, actually arch it. If it's too much, don't worry about it. And now, position your hips such that they're very square. Inhale in with an exhale. Let's go for this nice big stretch. So drop your chest toward that left knee and really enjoy the stretch. Shoulders back, back is arched or straight. Relax your neck. One more breath, please. Compare mentally the two sides. Very nice. Shift your hips up and forward. Reach your arms all the way up. And bring them behind you. Clasp your hands again. And this time the opposite thumb is going to be on top. Do not drop them on your thigh. Inhale, open up. Exhale, go ahead and press into that left foot and come into a forward fold. Once again, see how deep you can go. Maybe you're opening up enough in your hamstrings where you can drop your head all the way to the floor. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, forward. Arch. Inhale, inhale, inhale. And with an exhale, once again, going into forward fold. Now, once again, if you want to take a couple of extra breaths here and there, it's not a big deal. Inhale, start to lift. Chest forward and then up. One more time. and forward. Inhale, open up, release your arms. And one last time, going for that big arch in the back. Hip flexors are so happy. Yes. Very nice. Go ahead and release your hands. And this time, bring that right leg forward and go ahead and sit down. Your legs are in front of you. Good. Bend your right knee and draw it towards your right underarm. And your hips are sitting as close to it as possible. Beautiful. We're going to go for a little bit of a twist here. So first thing first, bring that right foot on the left side of your left knee, hug and press your knee towards your left shoulder. Reach your right arm first of all up. So I want a nice big line from your right hip all the way to your fingertips. Good. And then go ahead and bring it over behind you. Very active pose. So you're pressing your right knee towards your left underarm and left shoulder as your right arm is stretching. Thumb up. One more breath. Very nice. Reach your right arm up again. Rotate. I'm going to turn so that you see what I'm doing. I'm going to position my right foot back to where I've started, and I'm going to reach my left arm out. I'm going to bring my right arm and bring it in front of that knee, placing it on the floor, and then I'm going to place my left hand on the floor. So now I am rotating completely in a different direction. I'm going to go for a bind. If you think you can, please follow me. It's a wonderful stretch for the shoulders. So I'm going to rotate my right arm, hugging my knee, and maybe that's how far you want to go. And then I'm going to reach and bring my left hand and grab my right hand behind me. One more breath. Good. Wherever you are, re-rotate and release. We're going to try and do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to remain here so you can see all sorts of variations. So once again, gently shift side to side as you pull your left shoulder towards your, left knee towards your left shoulder. And then place that foot on the right side of your right knee. And first we're going to go twisting to the right, to the left. It's been a long morning. Right arm is hugging our left knee, and it starts to press that knee toward the right shoulder. And then once again, I'm going to start with lifting because I really want to open up and have that length into which I'm going to be twisting. And now I'm going to pull that left shoulder back. Left arm is out. I'm hugging the knee and I'm looking over my left shoulder. Now that one is optional. If your shoulder or your neck are not ready for that, you really don't have to do that. Very active pose. You should definitely feel that every single muscle in your left hip, in your right and left arm, and in your back are all working in unison. The thumb is up. Inhale. And exhale. With your next inhale, once again, lift up. Check and make sure that nothing has happened since the last time. And then we're going to come back to facing forward. And left foot comes now back to the left side of your right knee. Reset. And now we're going to rotate in the opposite direction. Release your hands, so left shoulder into that left knee, and they're pressing into each other. Right hand and left hand. And now on the floor in that triangle. And I'm going to go into my bind. If you feel like following, or maybe just half of that, rotate your left arm and reach and hug that left knee. And then when you're ready, you're going to lift and thread your right hand through your left fingers. Nice. Inhale, and with an exhale, very gently release all of that. Re-rotate. Go ahead and release your legs. And once again, shift side to side. Reach your arms up and go for a forward fold. Grab your toes or your ankles wherever you can reach. Once again, draw your chest towards your knees. And draw your shoulders back, flattening your back as much as you can. One more breath. Very nice. And go ahead and release that. Bend both of your knees. Tuck your feet under you, help yourselves, and come into crouching position. Good. Press your heels into the mat like you're press your body into your hips, just like you're trying to flatten those heels against the floor. Shoulders are back. Very nice. And then gently lift your hips up. Press your heels into the mat. Bring your hands to your heart center. We are in our chair pose. Arms up with an inhale. And with an exhale, bring your arms behind you. Clasp them once again. Open through your chest and straighten your legs. Find your forward fold and draw your knuckles as far over your head as you can. Release your hands. Inhale. And swing your arms all the way above your head as you're coming back into your chair pose. Inhale. And with an exhale, lift into your mountain pose. Open up. Yes. Okay. I hope that your upper body now feels well. I hope that your back has opened up and a little bit your hamstrings. We're going to do a little bit on the shoulder opener one more time, and then we're going to connect a couple of things that we have done and make them just a tiny bit more complex. Reach your arms behind you. Place your hands together. We're going to go for our reverse prayer with our hands. Now, if reverse prayer, which is basically starting with your fingertips against your back, and then little by little, you're crawling your hands all the way between your shoulder blades. Now, if that is not an option, just go ahead and grab the elbow of the opposite arm. Draw your shoulders back, shoulder blades together, okay? Whichever variation you've got in you, please go ahead and relax into it. So, stand at the very top of your mat. Inhale, and with an exhale, release your right leg, right knee up. Find your balance. Tuck your right toes. Lift up through your sternum. Arch your back. One more breath. Good. Place your right foot on the mat. Reset. If you have been holding elbows instead of the reverse prayer, please release your arms and switch. Otherwise, stay with that reverse prayer. Readjust. Reset your body weight. Place it on your right foot. And now lift through that left knee, tuck your left toes, and for 3 full breaths, I want you to just relax into this stretch. I'm using your hamstring, I'm using my hamstrings, and I hope that you are using your hamstrings as well. Chest is still open. One more breath. Very nice. Release that. And we're going to go into Warrior 3. That is only to get your hamstrings working so that we can continue stretching them a little bit longer in a bit. So bring that right leg all the way behind you and find your variation. Remember, it really depends on how tired you are, where you are today. See if you can tuck your toes. Once again, try and keep your hips square. Coming all the way back after your third breath, readjusting, left knee up. No one is watching. Don't worry about anything. Just really draw your shoulders back and go ahead and start folding a little bit forward as your left leg extends behind you. Finding your hips, making sure that they are square, going just as far as you feel comfortable. And then lifting back, dropping that left foot onto the floor. Beautiful. Reach your arms up and swan dive. You are at the top of the mat here and soften your knees. Bring your left leg back, bring your right leg back. And from here, shift your hips gently side to side. Drop your hips down into upward facing dog. Inhale, and with an exhale, down dog. First down dog of the day. So you should feel pretty comfortable and confident placing your heels on the mat. Right leg rises. Bend that right knee and go ahead and drop that right foot onto the left side of your body. Right hip is right above your left. And again, you should feel a wonderful stretch in your right hip flexor. Reach your knee as high as you can and bring it as far as you can. Inhale. With an exhale, re-rotate and bring that right foot forward between your hands. Good. High lunge. Once again, play with it here. It's a little bit stronger pose than it was before. If you absolutely have to, definitely drop that knee on the mat. But this is definitely a new challenge here. We're going to play a little bit with both the stretching and the balance. Lifting up. Good. Find that knee. Find your shoulders. Beautiful. Inhale, and with an exhale, swing your arms forward and down as you're straightening your right leg. Press your left heel into the mat as much as you can and reach your chest towards your right knee. Breathe. We're going to go back and forth here. So keep your core engaged and remember to keep your hips square. Ready? Lift up, inhale. And open up. Inhale, reach a little bit farther back. And with an exhale, swing your arms, place them on the floor. Just to keep that balance, drop your chest down. Inhale, start to lift up. Reach your arms forward and up and then behind your ears if you can. And once again, exhale as you forward fold. Hands on the floor. One more time. Inhale, opening up. Reaching. And exhale, forward fold. Rotate from here, your left heel, and place it on the floor. If you need to use the block for your right hand, please do. Reach your left arm all the way up. Lift up through your upper body and see if you can place your right hand on your right shin. Beautiful. Inhale, and with an exhale, rotate that left hand back. Bring your right knee forward. Nice. Release your hands back on the floor. Right leg rises. Bend that knee and rotate it toward the ceiling one more time. And then place it back on the floor, down dog. Right leg has certainly worked very hard. Let's try the same thing on the other side. Inhale, left leg rises. Bend that knee right away. Send the leg over to the right side of your body. Left knee is as high as you can. Left hip is on top of your right hip. But try and keep both of your shoulders still as square as possible. So there's a big twist. Lifting that knee as high as you can. One more time. And then go ahead and swing it forward. Roll your shoulders back as you do that. Placing your left foot between your hands. All right. Now you know exactly what to expect. Settle into your balance. Your hands are here to help you. So you should be okay. But still, there's a lot of work here as far as your left leg is concerned. So lift up. And if you need to lift your hips up just to kind of make all the adjustments, please do. And then see how low you can sink into your left knee and how much you can open your right hip flexor. Draw your arms back, your chin is up. Inhale, and with an exhale, swing your arms forward, down as you're straightening that right leg and pressing your right heel into the mat. First one is a stretch, trying to figure out the form, pulling your shoulders back. Your hands are light, but they're definitely helping out here with our balance. Ready? And inhale, start to lift up, start to bend that knee, start to bring your arms first forward and then all the way up and back. And forward, down, straightening that left leg. Trying very hard to make the entire movement happening at the same time. We're not going one thing at a time. Nice big flow. And forward and down. One more time. Awesome. Okay, rotate your right heel now. Left hand remains on the floor or on the block, and reach your right arm up, 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 up. If you can, lift up through your upper body, place your left hand on your left shin. Beautiful. Go ahead and reposition yourself. So right hand comes back down on the floor, left hand comes down on the floor, and we're back into down dog with our left leg first up, and then right away, send that leg over to the right. Beautiful. Replace that left foot down, right leg goes up with an inhale. And this time, bring it over to the right side of your right hand. Drop your left knee on the floor. Release your left toes. Reach your right arm up. And then over, over, over. Look over your right shoulder and align your right arm with your left leg. Beautiful. Rearrange that, so really open up to the right side of your body. And then go ahead and place your right hand on the floor. Drop your right leg onto its outer edge. I'm going to rotate so that you know what I'm talking about. Well, you know what I'm talking about, but there. And then we're going to go ahead and drop into our lizard. And if you cannot go all the way, that's not a problem. And please do use the block if you need to. So as far as opening up that left hip flexor, this is definitely a very effective way. Staying here for another 20 seconds, deeply enjoying it. Hopefully, you're also opening up your right hip, possibly your right knee, your shoulders are relaxed. One more breath, please. Good. We're going to go into a little bit of a bind. So first your right hand and then your left hand. Good. Rotate your right foot to the left and start your body rotation all the way to the left. Lift through that left knee. Rotate, 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 rotate. Good. Inner thigh. And once again, reach back. This would be a good time to grab the block. Reach your right arm out, left one up, and grab your left hand with your right. I need a block because my right heel does not get down on the floor. Beautiful. Reach your left arm up first, and then gently release the right. Lifting up, both hands are on the inner side of your right knee. Reach and grab your left toes with your left hand, if available. Nice. Release your left hand. Start to walk your left hand as we are rotating, coming all the way back to where we started. Both hands are on the inside of our right foot. Inhale and with an exhale, come all the way back into one-legged down dog, and then place your right foot on the floor. Left leg rises. Bring it on the outside of your left hand. Drop your right knee on the floor. Settle in here. Right hand is on the floor or on the block. Reach your left arm all the way up. This alone, you should definitely feel in that right hip flexor. It should feel good. And then continue on. It's a strong movement as you rotate your entire spine. Look over your left shoulder. Align your left arm with your right leg. Beautiful. Inhale, open up once again. Re-rotate, left hand comes down on the floor. And I'm going to move a little bit away from the screen so that we see that I'm dropping my left leg onto its outer edge and left knee goes out as I gently drop onto my right forearm and then my left one. Relaxing through our spine, breathing. By now, you should definitely settle in. 20 seconds here. As you continue that, I'm going to rotate so that I face the screen for the next move. One more breath. Left hand first, then right, and then we're going to start gently pivoting. Tuck your right toes to make the pivoting a little bit easier. I should have remembered that on the other side. So now your left foot is facing this way, and we're dropping into our left knee. And I'm going to drop the block behind me so I can flatten my left foot. And that's the only way I can actually have it flat. So I'm sitting down on the block and I'm going to go for the bind. You're very welcome to stay in just this position. If you think you can, this is a shoulder stretch. It's absolutely awesome. Inhale, and with an exhale, unbind yourselves. Place your hands in front, lift up, and you don't need the block anymore. Reach your right hand and grab your toes with your right hand. Press your left elbow into your left knee just to enhance that. It is definitely a stretch for the inner thighs, but I promise you that this should feel really good on your hamstrings as well. One more breath. Release your right hand and go ahead and start that rotation. This is where we came from. Inhale, and with an exhale, your left leg goes all the way back up, dropping down into your last downward facing dog. Stay here for 3 breaths. Shift your hips softly side to side. Press your heels a little tiny bit more into your mat or into your floor. And from here, if you can, keep your legs straight all the way as you are walking your feet towards your hands. It's fun to try. Even if you didn't manage it, it's still fun to try. So we end up in our forward fold. And I need you to grab your big toes with your fingers, 2 fingers. Inhale and pull your shoulders back as with an exhale, you're drawing your chest towards your toes. If this is not an option, place your hands behind your calves. Either way, draw your chest either toward your knees or toward your toes. Shoulders are active as you're pulling them back. You're always hinging at your hips. In your mind, see if you can arch your back. I know it's virtually impossible, but just imagine that these are the muscles that you're going to have to use. What are those muscles? You will feel how much more enhanced this stretch is. Wonderful. And then from here, I want you to release whatever it is that you're holding. If you want to soften your knees, please do. Drop your head and relax for me for 3 full breaths. Shoulders are down, head is down, everything is very heavy. Good. Step your left leg and back and drop onto your left knee. Step your right foot back, drop onto your right knee, and draw little circles with your hips 2 times in one direction, and then 2 times in the other direction. And then we're going to go into our cow. Opening through our chest, pulling our shoulders back, hips up. Touching your tailbone to the top of your head. And now we're going to go into the reverse position for our spine, pressing hands firmly into the mat, opening up the distance between the shoulder blades and touching our nose to our tailbone. And shift your hips all the way back. Keep the roundness of your back for just 1 more breath. Should feel a good stretch under arms, and then from here, go ahead and start to unravel your spine into a kneeling position, sliding your hands all the way toward your hips, and then open up 1 more time. Reach your arms up. Breathe. Place your hands together above your head and bring them down to your heart center. And thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.